The metabolites are broadly classified into primary metabolites and secondary metabolites. So secondary metabolites are derived by pathways. Secondary metabolites are organic compounds that are not directly involved in the normal growth and development, reproduction of an organism. Biomolecules which are found in acid insoluble fraction and having large molecular weight. Amino acids are the building blocks of proteins. So proteins are made up of amino acid. Hello everyone, welcome back to session 2 of this chapter called Biomolecules. Myself B. Shobha Rani from the Department of Biology, Vidyashram Pre-University College, the Temple of Excellence. Hope you remember we started off with a very new chapter called Biomolecules. So as we have already come across what are biomolecules, which have been broadly classified into macromolecules and micromolecules, macromolecules like carbohydrates, proteins and lipids. Right, we were discussing about metabolites, and the metabolites are broadly classified into primary metabolites and secondary metabolites. Primary metabolites are those metabolites which are directly involved in the various physiological processes. So let us understand what are secondary metabolites. Secondary metabolites. Secondary metabolites are organic compounds that are not directly involved in the normal growth and development, reproduction of an organism. So whereas the primary metabolites are directly involved in the process, but here the secondary metabolites are organic compounds that are not directly involved in the normal growth, development or reproduction of an organism. Now let us come across some of the examples like alkaloids, toxins, drugs, etc. So pigments, carotenoids, anthocyanins, etc. Then all these are the secondary metabolites. Alkaloids like morphine, codeine, then terpenoids, monoterpenes, diterpenes, then essential oil, that is lemongrass oil, etc. Toxins, abrin, ricin, then levatins, that is concavalin A, drugs, vinblastine, curcumin, etc. Then polymeric substances like rubber, gums, cellulose. So these are the ones which are called secondary metabolites. So what are secondary metabolites? Secondary metabolites are organic compounds that are not directly involved in the normal growth, that is normal growth, development or reproduction of an organism. For example, like alkaloids, toxin, drugs, etc. When we take this tabular column, we come across pigments like carotenoids, anthocyanins, alkaloids, morphine, codeine, etc. Terpenoids, monoterpenes, diterpenes, etc. Essential oil, that is lemongrass oil, etc. Toxins like abrin and ricin. Then levatins, concavalin A. Then drugs, vinblastine, curcumin, etc. Then polymeric substances, rubber, gums and cellulose. And unlike secondary metabolites, primary metabolites are essential to cell growth, and they are, as we know that they are directly involved in metabolic reactions such as respiration and photosynthesis. So unlike secondary metabolites, the primary metabolites are very much essential for all the cell processes like cell growth, and they are involved directly in the metabolic reactions such as respiration and photosynthesis. And most primary metabolites are identical among most organisms, whereas secondary metabolites are numerous. They are numerous with widespread, right? So secondary metabolites are derived by pathways in which primary metabolites involve. So this is the difference. Usually they'll ask for the differences between the primary metabolites and secondary metabolites. Therefore, secondary metabolites are produced during growth phase of cell, while secondary metabolites are produced during the non-growth phase of a cell. So unlike secondary metabolites, the primary metabolites are essential to cell growth, and they are involved directly in metabolic reactions such as respiration and photosynthesis. Most primary metabolites are identical among most organisms, whereas secondary metabolites are numerous and widespread. So secondary metabolites are derived by pathways in which the primary metabolites involved. So therefore secondary metabolites are produced during growth phase of the cell, while secondary metabolites are produced during the non-growth phase of the cell. So this is the difference between the primary metabolites and the secondary metabolites. Now let us understand what are micro and macromolecules. What is the basis for classifying the biomolecules into micro and macromolecules? Because based on their molecular weight. So let us understand what is the difference between micro and macromolecules. So there is one feature common to all those compounds found in acid soluble pool. They have molecular weight ranging from 18 to around 800 Daltons approximate. And in the acid insoluble fraction has only 4 types of organic compounds, that is proteins, nucleic acids, polysaccharides and lipids. These classes of compounds, with the exception of lipids, have molecular weights in the range of 10,000 above Daltons. So micromolecules and macromolecules, there is one feature common to all those compounds found in acid soluble pool. They have molecular weights ranging from 18 to around 800 Daltons. So here 10,000, that is ranging of 10,000 Daltons and above. So in the acid insoluble fraction has only 4 types of organic compounds: proteins, nucleic acids, then polysaccharides and lipids. These classes of compounds, with the exception of lipids, have molecular weights in the range of 10,000 Daltons and above. Chemical compounds found in living organisms are of 2 types, as I know, micromolecules and macromolecules. Chemical compounds which have molecular weight less than 1000 Daltons. As I said, what is the basis for classifying the biomolecules into micro and macromolecules? Based on their molecular weight. So here micro, the very word itself will tell you, having molecular weight less than 1000 Daltons. So those compounds which have molecular weight more than 1000 Daltons are called as macromolecules. So here a molecule of relatively low molecular weight less than 1000 Dalton is known as micromolecule. Monomers are considered as micro, that can link together to form polymer, which is a macromolecule. So the smaller compounds which have a smaller less than 1000 Daltons are called as micromolecules. Macromolecule, the very word itself will tell you. They are also referred to as biomacromolecules. Biomolecules which are found in acid insoluble fraction and having large molecular weight. For example, typical protein has 3,800 Daltons, more than 1,000 Daltons molecular weight. For example, even nucleic acids, then polysaccharides. All these are called as macromolecules. So what is the difference between micromolecules and macromolecules? It is based on the molecular weight. So micromolecules, chemical compounds which have molecular weight less than 1000 Daltons. Molecules of relatively low molecular weight less than 1000 Dalton is known as micromolecule. Monomers are considered as micro, that can link together to form a polymer. Here macromolecules, biomolecules which are found in acid insoluble fraction and having large molecular weight. That is more than what? For example, protein has a molecular weight more than 1000, that is 3800 Daltons, and even nucleic acids and polysaccharides, all these are referred to as what? Macromolecules. Then moving on to one such macromolecule is protein. Here you can see in the beautiful picture the sources of protein. All these are the rich sources of protein. All of us know how important protein is. As we know, proteins are the building blocks of the body, and proteins are very much essential for growth as well as for the wear and tear process. As you know, the cells are worn out and new cells are added upon, and for all that very important processes, protein is very important. So protein is called as the building block of the body. So they are very much important, particularly at the growing age, we find proteins are more required. And even not only that, proteins throughout our life are so very important. As you know, the wear and tear process is continuously happening inside the body, and to replace the worn out cells, proteins are very, very important. Now let us understand this very important macromolecule called protein. So what is protein? As we say, proteins are the building blocks of our body. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein. So proteins are made up of amino acid. As you all know, there are 20 different types of protein which are very important for our body. But there are many more amino acids, but 20 are the important essential amino acids required by the body to make a particular protein. Hair is a protein, nail is a protein, eye lens is a protein. So all these are the different proteins which are made out of by 20 amino acids like alanine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, leucine, isoleucine, tryptophan, serotonin. All these are the different 20 types of amino, and all these amino acids. So each protein has a different sequence of amino acid. For example, hair is a protein, nail is a protein. So each protein is made out of different sequence, and all that sequence, as you all might have come across, there is one very important process called protein synthesis, which takes place in the ribosomes. As you know, ribosome is called as the protein factory, right? So now let us understand about these proteins. So protein is a polymer made up of many amino acids. They are a group of organic compounds found in all living cells. Proteins are polypeptides. So they are made up of many amino acids joined together by a bond called peptide bond. So proteins are polypeptides. They are linear chain of amino acids linked by peptide bonds. For example, this is one amino acid. See, this is one amino acid. So there are different types of amino acids, and this is called as the peptide bond. The bond between two amino acids is called as a peptide. The two amino acids are held together by a bond called peptide bond, which is very much important for the stability of the protein molecule, right? So what are proteins? Proteins are the building blocks of the body, and protein is a polymer made up of many amino acids, chain of amino acids. Hence the reason we call it as polypeptides. Poly means many. Polypeptides. And the bond between two amino acids is called as a peptide bond. And they are linear chain. You can see it is a straight chain like this. So made up of amino acids like this. So they are what? Linear chain of amino acids linked by peptide bond. Linked by peptide bond. So the basic building block of a protein contains an amino group. Here you can see an amino group at one end and a carboxyl group at the other end. So carboxyl group at other end. The basic building block of a protein contains an amino group at one end and a carboxyl group at the other end. So what are proteins? Protein is a polymer of amino acids. They are a group of organic compounds found in all living cells. Proteins are polypeptides. They are linear chain of amino acids linked by peptide bonds. As we know, the amino acids which are the building blocks of proteins. Building blocks of protein. So the basic building block of a protein contains an amino group, that is NH2 group at one end and a carboxyl group at one end, and R is variable. R varies. Right. Next, the amino group, as I said, it is NH2. So here you can see the amino group here at one end and carboxyl group at one end. Right. So these are the different types of amino acids. So different types of amino acid, different types of amino acids. So here you can see glycine, alanine, phenylalanine, methionine. Methionine is always called as a starter amino acid. So any protein molecule as such is formed with a beginning amino acid called methionine, right? And as you know, the direction for making a particular protein is given by DNA, and that is what we call it as central dogma of protein synthesis, right? Anyhow, we are going to study all this in detail in second PUC, right? There is one chapter called molecular basis of inheritance where you'll be studying about the protein synthesis, that is transcription and translation, right? So leucine, proline, isoleucine, all these are the different types of amino acids. So here you can see amino group at one end and a carboxyl group at the other end. So here you can see the amino group and the carboxyl group, amino group and a COOH group, and R is variable, as we know. So the amino group is NH2 and the carboxyl group is COOH. The R group varies, that is the side chain. The structure of the side chain is different for different amino acids. So the structure of the side chain varies from an amino acid to amino acid. As I said, there are 20 different types of amino acid which make a particular protein. So there are different types of protein in the animal body, right? Then there are 20 different amino acids and there are 20 different side chains that make those amino acids different from one another. So there are 20 different amino acids and there are 20 different side chains that make those amino acids different from another. So the amino group is NH2 and the carboxyl group is COH and R group varies, which is a side chain. The structure of the side chain is different for different amino acids. The 20 different amino acids, and see here you can see the different types of amino acids. So the side chains varies from an amino acid to amino acid. Then we have this glutamic acid, lysine, valine, alanine, etc. Here you can see all these are different types. So a protein is a heteropolymer. Hetero means different and not a homopolymer. What do you mean by homopolymer? Homo means what? Same. Homopolymer means made up of only one type of monomer repeating n number of times. No, the protein is a heteropolymer made up of more than one type of monomers, right? So certain amino acids are essential for our health and they have to be supplied through our diet. So we have two types of amino acids. Amino acids are of two types. One is called the essential amino acids and the other one is called non-essential amino acids. So essential amino acids are obtained through our diet, food, through diet. And there are some amino acids which are synthesized by the body. Synthesized by the body. So here, so amino acids, again there have been amino acids are, what are amino acids? They are the building blocks of the proteins which have an amino group at one end and a carboxyl group at one end, and R, which is the side chain, is variable, which varies from an amino acid to amino acids. And amino acids are of two types. What are they? Essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. How do we classify them? Essential amino acids are those which are very much required by the body but which is obtained through diet or through food. Whereas non-essential amino acids which are synthesized by the body itself. It may not be taken in the form of food, are called as non-essential amino acids. Hope you have understood about the proteins, particularly a very important biomolecule. So we'll move on to the next. In the next session, we'll be studying about one more very important biomolecule and what is the importance of those biomolecules. And we'll be continuing the same about protein in the coming session also. Till then, goodbye and thank you.